here we are in Oklahoma City, out here to do multiple different installs in different states. This is going to be a packed video with traveling to different areas, going to different places, hopping on and off of planes, and well, catching a lot of flights and hopefully missing none. I don't even know honestly where these installs are taking place. I think I heard that some are at a dealership or something like that. I don't even know. I kind of just flew out here. We're in the rental car now. We're getting ready to make the drive. Now it is about, I don't know if that's the accurate time. Yeah, it is 12:50 at night here. Let's get it to focus. Almost 1 in the morning. We're gonna start the drive at least to get in the general area of the customer's location. And I know it's about, I think, an hour away. We're gonna crash in the car, and we're not gonna crash the car, okay, we're gonna crash in the car, like go like, you know. So that's the plan for right now, is at least get to the area of where the install will be taking place, and then hopefully once I show up to the address, I'll know I know if either it will be at a dealership or at a residence. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Even though we're not in a rush right now, I still want to at least get to wherever we're gonna be, so I can at least, you know, get a few hours of sleep before waking up early in the morning and getting this job done
tomorrow.
And the time has officially gotten here where we're ready to go ahead and start on the Z06. Now we are at a dealership. I know yesterday I was a little confused with exactly where I was gonna be doing the install, but we are at, just to give you guys an accurate name, we are at Eskridge Chevrolet here in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So that's where we're at doing this install. We do have a bay already set up inside, so without further ado, let's go ahead and show you guys the car and show you guys the area exactly where we will be doing the entire Aero kit along with full carbon fiber door moldings. Let's go ahead and head inside. Here we are getting ready to start on the Z06. Now on camera it may look like a black Z06, but once you get closer, that's when you see the carbon flash metallic, this being the 70th anniversary color. Right here shortly, it's going to be completely transformed into a full Z07 Z06 with the entire Aero kit along with the carbon fiber door moldings. So this should be a pretty fun install, working in a nice area. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on the door moldings, just because we're playing it a little risky with the kit still not being delivered. Now the kit was supposed to be delivered over the weekend, but it did end up getting delayed. So from what we've heard, we've already contacted UPS, and they're saying it should get here by, from, I think they said from 9 to 11:30. So I can at least start advancing on the car for now, get it prepped for when the parts get here, and hopefully everything goes good with the shipping over here to Oklahoma. I know the door moldings is something that I brought with me, so that's something that I can get at least fully installed, and we can leave the actual upper quarter panel moldings left to dry with the epoxy that we will be putting. So that will be set off to the side, but I'm gonna go ahead and start with tearing apart that door panel to actually get those OEM door handles removed, and then we'll just go from there and seeing how the time catches up to us with how long these installs take. So let's get you guys set up. Let's get started on the Z06. Okay, we just got the parts in. Now, one of the guys here at the dealership just went ahead and went to the UPS facility where these parts were, because, well, once again, they did send us a notification that it was going to be delayed to its delivery location. So he's like, instead of just waiting for that delay, instead of waiting till later in the day, let's just go get them. It was about an hour drive for him, an hour there. And we just got them in. I just got finished unwrapping everything, and it all looks great. Now, I know the area that we're working in is a little tight, but here we have all the carbon fiber pieces along with those door moldings that are still drying up. But we're working on the, here, let's see if I can maneuver through here. We're working on the front bumper right now, getting it prepped for that 3-piece front splitter. And then once we have all the trimming needed, it's time to mock up that template and make those cutouts for those die planes. That is definitely the most tedious task throughout the entire install. But before we work on the rear bumper as a whole, I think we're just gonna finish up the front half. By the time the front bumper is all wrapped up, the door molding should be finished curing. So we'll knock out the door moldings, get those fully installed, and then also install the rockers while we're here in this general area of the car. Now, don't mind my face being absolutely covered in plastic shavings. We just got done cutting the cutouts for the front die planes. Both sides came out perfectly. And no matter how many installs I do, this part will never not be nerve-wracking. There we have that side. And over here, I could just squeeze by here. Here we have this side. So for those that are doing these installs yourself, here, let's try not to drop this die plane. I mean, the die plane shouldn't go in with so much force. There you can see kind of like a rough sketch of how they're gonna fit. There you can see I was able to do that with one hand, and they come on and off super easily. So those cutouts, you always want to start smaller than what's on the template and gradually start shaving around as you start test fitting. See exactly what area of the tabs need more space than others. So because these are all handmade and are all basically custom, sometimes the template doesn't always necessarily work for every single die plane where you just make that cutout and expect it to be perfect. There will be some finicking around with it to make sure that it fits perfectly, as you guys just saw. So start smaller than what's on the die plane, gradually start making the cutouts bigger as you see fit, depending on which areas of the tabs need more space. Coming up on another update, there you can see we have the 3-piece front splitter fully installed. It's just a matter of getting all the bolts under here tightened up. But first, we need to go ahead and loosen up the bumper so we can actually get behind there and actually pre-fit the tabs for the die planes and make sure that the clips slide in all the way. Now, I have found that although, yes, you can access it from the wheel well and kind of like stick your hand in there, it is easier to fully see exactly what you're doing by removing the bumper and going ahead and test fitting the die plane, going in and out, checking each individual tab, making sure that the clip has just enough space where it's fully tightened up against the bumper, but is able to clip all the way through and slide through that tab completely. So that's the next step, but we have the splitter fully installed.
12 seconds later.
Front end is just almost wrapped up with everything for the front splitter. Ow! Everything for the front splitter and die planes being fully tightened. Now all that's left is just the 4 trays underneath that hold like 100 bolts. One thing that I just want to show you guys how nice it is to work on a lift. Now, usually for a lift like this where the car drives up, typically you have to have all 4 wheels on the ground, right? Well, with this one, there's actually a jack right in the middle that allows me to lift up the front end of the car to actually be able to freely turn the wheels to be able to get to these bolts that are holding in the fender to the bumper for when I actually got that removed. We're doing good on time so far. I don't know exactly how many hours it's been, but once those trays are on, all that's left is the rear wing. The door moldings are fully installed. Everything came out really nicely, along with the rockers. All that's already done. So once those trays are on, the entire front end of the car will be finished. So let's go ahead and get to that rear wing. So typically doing these types of installs, getting ready to remove the bumper, if I was on a lift like this without those jacks, I typically need to slide a floor jack under here, get it lift up, do one side at a time. But with this, honestly guys, I'm falling in love with this. I don't know how like many times I've been like going up and down, and I've been needing it for whatever I'm doing throughout the install, and it's honestly just so helpful. And I know I can't get used to working on something like this because, well, for my next installs, you guys are going to see just how random these installs are because I really don't know where I'm going to be doing the other Z06s at, but for sure nothing will be as nice as this. So I'm enjoying it while I can, but here we're ready to remove the side bolts holding in the bumper to the quarter panel, and then with that I believe the bumper should be ready to come off, and then we'll go ahead, prep it, get that wing off, and lay that whole cover piece and get to trimming the bumper before actually getting those brackets aligned. After a full day working here at the dealership, the Z06 is finally complete. Now that we have everything wrapped up, everything came out honestly better than I expected, considering I thought honestly I was gonna be in more of a rush to get this car done, and honestly everything just came out, oh man, it just went together so well. So once again, everything that we did is the front splitter, the die planes, the rockers, the door moldings here, the wishbone set, and then of course the big rear wing. Oh man, guys, honestly it's been a lot of fun working here at the dealership, especially with this amazing piece of equipment, the lift. I didn't have to strain my back because, you know, typically I'm used to just working on the floor, low jack stands, and that's all I really have had. But with this, being able to be fully under the car while not having to be hunched over is definitely a nice feeling. So here we have it, Carbon Flash 70th anniversary color Z06 Corvette with a full carbon fiber aero kit done by Sigala Designs here at Eskridge Chevrolet in Oklahoma. Man, let me tell you guys, right now I'm filming on my phone because, well, the memory on my camera was filled with how much I was filming and like the time lapses for you guys. So once I get to the hotel, wherever I'll be staying, I'm just gonna be basically downloading all the footage so I can film for you guys for the next install. Now, installs that have allowed me to film, remember, we still got 2 more. So 2 more installs that you guys are gonna see in this video, and then along with the rest that unfortunately we're not gonna be able to show you. But right now, I am starving, guys. I think it's so funny whenever I work at a dealership like this, working with the guys, because they always ask me, well, like, are you gonna take lunch with us? Are you gonna eat? Like, I've only been living off of, where they at? Oh, there they are. Hang on, guys. Pizza flavored Pringles and water. That's it. That's all I've been having. So right now, it's time to sit down, eat some good food, and let me show you guys the aftermath of an entire, let's see, from, I got here at, by the time I started working, we got the car set up, I think it was around 8 in the morning. So from 8 in the morning all the way until, let's just say 5 in the afternoon. That is 9-hour install, which I think is pretty close to the 8 hours that I average. Now this one is with full door moldings, everything, so that's where the extra hour went into, with taking apart the door panels and all of that. But for just the Aero kit, I do average about 8 hours. So let's hit the road. I'm hungry, and let's go find somewhere to eat. Look at the aftermath of how dirty I get. I mean, the bay in which I was working was for like oil changes and stuff. So all that is just caked on oil. This is the part that you guys don't see, how dirty I get after these installs. But I mean, we got like basically stains everywhere just from the grime that was around the lift and just from being on the floor a few times and everything that goes into these installs. Okay, without further ado, let's go. Here we are, New Smyrna Beach, Florida, here for the second Z06 install of this install packed video. So let's go ahead and show you guys exactly what color we are working on today. This is the new Riptide Blue, is that correct? Riptide Blue. Riptide Blue Z06 here, getting the entire full carbon fiber Aero kit. We already went ahead, advanced a little before I had gotten here, which is putting the car up on all 4 jack stands just to make it easier to actually get under the car, get the different things that I need removed, along with getting in those tight spaces to remove certain panels of the car. Up front, we already basically got the entire like the trim underneath the hood removed for when we're ready to remove the front bumper. But first, we're gonna go ahead and mock up the splitter, get the cutouts for the dive planes made, and then once we get everything kind of buttoned up how we like it, then we'll remove it to fully tie in everything down, and then we'll move forward from there. Now, the owner of the Z06 already went ahead and removed the rockers for us, and right now I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the door moldings, getting those taken apart just so these upper quarter panel pieces have enough time to cure for once we're moving along with the rest of the install and we kind of move forward, getting closer to working on the back. That should give them enough time to fully cure, and once they're installed, have no issues with lifting or being put on too early. So it's a long install ahead of us. Let's go ahead, set you guys up, and then we'll move forward from there. and finishing up about a 7.5 hour install from the time I got here to finished. Now that it is on the ground, everything came out so good. Honestly, I love the way the carbon looks on this new Riptide blue color. We do expect to get more and more installs with this color, being a new 2024 color in the future as these start to roll off the lot. But there with the light, you can see how good the carbon looks contrasted with that beautiful blue metallic paint. And then of course the big wing and this CAR sticker on the side really ties the gray look to the carbon with that decal on the side. Now for the front end, we do have the diplanes with the 3-piece front splitter. This is such an amazing addition to the car, considering the splitter that comes with it it's like, I don't know, it cuts off the front end a little short. So with this extra kind of extension of the front splitter, it definitely gives it a more aggressive look, and the diplanes only add to that. So we're finishing up here. Now it's just a matter of getting back to the airport to then catch a flight early morning to go to our next install, installing yet another Z07 Aero package. So let's go ahead and hit the road.
12 seconds later.
So heading to the hotel where we will be staying. Here we have my Uber ride. This thing's all decked out, and even the inside, as soon as I open the door, look at that. Full LED lighting all throughout. So I think we're gonna be rolling in style to this hotel. So let's go ahead and hit the road. Now, if you guys were to tell me that I was gonna be staying at a resort, maybe I would have come more prepared, you know, bring some swimming trunks, bring a change of clothes. Well, as far as clothes that can get wet. But look at what we're working with, guys. Look at this. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. We got jacuzzi, and then we got the pool over there. I think since I don't have proper clothes to go in the water, I'm just gonna kick my feet in to get to relaxing, and then I'll probably catch with you guys tomorrow. Unless, well, we still gotta eat something. I haven't ate. But honestly, I wanna do this first before I eat. So let's get in. And showing up to the third and final install that we will be able to show you guys for the duration of this trip. We just showed up to the customer's house, so let's go inside and show you guys exactly what we're working with. So to get started, I know the first thing that you guys always want to know is what is the color of the car. Here we have an all black Z06 that is getting the entire carbon fiber Aero kit along with door molding. Yes, all the customers that you guys have seen so far have gotten both the carbon Aero kit with the door moldings. So it's going to be basically the same process that you guys have been seeing so far, but this customer is also getting the grill moldings installed along with the front screens for that front bumper to cover those radiators. Make sure they don't get dinged up, especially with driving this often. Over here off to the side, we already have all the parts laid out along with the big old wing over there in the back. So I think what we're gonna go ahead and start off with is, let's go ahead and work on the front. I think the rhythm that we've been doing for these installs has been working really well. So let's go ahead and get the front lifted up. Let's get all those bolts loosened up, at least get it prepped to get ready for the front bumper to be removed. And then once all that's loose, I think we'll go ahead and loosen up the back bumper. So once we finish up with the front, that back bumper is already loose, so we don't have to also lift up the back later in the install. So let's get you set up on the tripod, and then let's get this install started. Let me tell you, I don't think you guys understand how easy it is for time to fly, especially doing these installs. I mean, once you get in the zone, I I'm going to be honest, guys. I forget about picking up the camera, updating you guys, moving the tripod to different locations. Me and the customer have been going at it with this install for the Z07 package. Let's go ahead, get you guys up to speed on exactly what we have done so far. The door moldings have already been fully installed for both sides. The rockers have been installed, the dive planes, front splitter, the grill moldings, along with the scrape armor front mesh to protect those front radiators. Those are all done, installed. We even went ahead and removed that center license plate bracket just to open up that center grill a little bit more. And then right now we were about to start installing the mirror caps. You guys know that's a quick, probably like minute install. This is the way the door moldings turned out for the driver's side. Everything turned out great. Now all that's left is that big rear wing. You guys know that this can be tedious, especially trying to get those brackets aligned. We're about to lay the double-sided tape on the hull cover and then go ahead and mount the bumper to actually lay that hull cover piece. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to forget about you guys this time. Let's get you set up to watch me install the rest of this kit and finish this job. Finishing up a job of 8.5 hours. Now, it didn't take 8.5 hours from start to finish just working on the car. The customer did treat me to both lunch and dinner, and honestly, just being there, being able to talk with them, sit with them, setting work aside was really nice, especially just being able to kind of get to know every customer that we go to actually do these installs on these types of cars. So wrapping up, once again, everything that was done from start to finish was the dive planes, the 3-piece front splitter, the front grill moldings, the screen from Scrape Armor. That was all installed for the front end, along with some mirror caps, the door moldings. There you can see how well it looks, especially on clean black paint. Now, if you've ever owned a black car, you know how difficult it is to keep these cars clean. Even just trying to wipe it for the video, it's like dust kept appearing out of nowhere. But of course, the last piece that was installed was the big spoiler in the back. And on this black, even on camera, it's so hard to tell that the hull cover piece is even there. It blends in so well that only if you really kind of look for it and know that it's there, or like really try to find it, is when you notice it. But that wing just takes all the attention away. And it's crazy to think that this morning, this Z06 was just a regular old stock Z06, nothing crazy done to it. And within the same day, we completely transformed it. With everything that got done to this car, it definitely does look like a brand new car. It doesn't look like the same vehicle that we came here for in the morning, and that's the finished product that we love to see. So without further ado, this is the final install that we will be showing you guys. So let's go ahead, hit the road. Let's go stop at a hotel, probably get some rest finally, and then early morning we leave on yet another flight.